We're hitting record. Alright. Episode whatever this one is. I don't even know. Checkity check 1, 2. Checking it once. Checking it twice. I think I have some vocal effects. Question mark, question mark. Hello, hello. Checkity check 1, 2. Check truck 1, 2. Oh, I see. It's only if I go into the thing. We'll get to that in a minute. All right, Monday. We're doing a podcast. I wrote down a bunch of stuff to talk about. Not particularly prepared, but was more just kind of speaking my mind. Talk about my thoughts. Got to tune up. Do a little adjustment on this PA over here. Check two. Check two. There we go. Just a little crispy for me. It's right there. It's cold in here. It's cold. Still sounds a tad out, doesn't it? Close enough. Check 1, 2. Oh. Turn the amp on. There we go. Alright, well, that's pretty much what my sound check looks like these days. Just trying to tune up. Just make it look good. Sound okay, feel good, etc., etc. Let's tune up one more time. Some pretty new strings, new tuners, etc. Alright, cool. Sweet. And yeah, we got this little amp over here. I think you can see it. It's what is it? It's a pearl tone. I've never heard of it. And if you try to look it up, there's not really that many of them out there. It takes you to a lot of these like random Japanese websites, which is pretty cool. I'm into that kind of stuff where you're like, I don't know what this is, but it sounds cool. I love that stuff. And here, I'll show you a little rig rundown. It can be pretty bright, and it's pretty loud. I think it's a 60-watt amp, which is pretty good. I think, you know, for a solid-state amp, 60 to 100 is pretty good. Like you could do a gig with that for sure. Yeah, it's, you know, there's no power. It's like the knob is the power, which is kind of cool. I appreciate that. You can roll it up. Yeah, that's good. I see somebody in the chat. I can't quite see you over there, but we're doing an episode of the pod. Just showing you my little amp. Yeah, turn it up a little bit. I like the tone knob on here because it can get pretty dark. And I've actually recorded bass on this amp before. And the tremolo on the bass is an underrated sound. If you guys have never messed with that. Tone down. And I guess I should say everything on the guitar is 10. Yeah, that's cool. I like that sound. And then, like, you know, for a darker, kind of brighter sound, I guess. Like dark on the amp, but bright on the guitar. Love that stuff. Yeah, and here's this bright on bright. You know, I like that. That's pretty tight. I don't know how well it translates through the computer with the room mic or on the telephone. But I think you get the idea. It's just kind of a little amp. I like it. The real reason I got it, the real show stealer over here, is the tremolo. She tight. She tight. And yeah, I just thought that was kind of cool. Let's see. I think I got one over here. Yep. Tremolo with the slide. Underrated. You don't hear that every day. It's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah? Did it make you feel some kind of way? I think so. It's very unusual. That gets to one of my points later on when we bust out the notebook here pretty soon. But yeah, I just been getting a lot of I don't want to say complaints, but people like, this isn't my vibe. It sounds like everybody else kind of thing. So I'm looking for some more unusual sounds out there in music land, I think, just to sound a little bit more unique, a little more inquisitive, a little more inviting, maybe, a little more unusual, peculiar. Yeah, it's like, wow, I think there's a lot to unpack there, but we'll get to that. I got some points written down. I don't want to start rambling, but yeah, that's kind of the idea. I got my little effect pedals going. I got this GP100, great looper that I'm running through, and I think it runs nice with this amp. It sounds good. Yeah, I really wanted to just kind of get a studio amp, and this is my live amp, the Quilter over here, and I like recording with that amp. I got no problems with it. It's more of like a convenience thing. I just don't want to have to be bothered to set up, another amp every time I want to record. So if I have this Quilter over here, it's plugged in. I could turn it on right now, but that amp is always plugged in and always mic'd up and always ready to go. And for me, that's just a little more inspiring for my workflow because I'm just kind of scatterbrained. So it's like if I feel like I'm really in the mood, I kind of have to strike while the iron's hot, otherwise I'm going to get distracted. So, or lose inspiration or something. So, if I can be like, bam, I'm feeling it right now, I can just go. That's kind of cool. And I like it. And it was only $40, Pearl Tone. Check it out. There's different models and stuff. I think there's different watts, some with more knobs and less knobs, different sizes of speakers and things like that. But man, I would get another one. I haven't tried it through the organ yet, which you can't really see. It's like right here. And I think that would be cool. Tremolo with the organ. And then, I got some effect pedals over here like I was talking about. And still kind of figuring out the ways, but I hope you can see that. I think you can see it. I got this Zoom bass pedal over here that I'm running into this mixer, which kind of I got this keyboard, I got the organ, I got this guitar, I got this guitar amp, I got my sampler, my keyboard, the iPad, another microphone, this microphone, all going into that, a little multi-effect guy, and the slap steel, I guess right here, 8-string baby. And looking at this, I could just change the strings on this guy, little bowl. But I'm gonna put some flats on there. Some of the coolest slide tones you can get on a lap steel or flats, in my opinion. It's like 2 packs of flats. It's like $40. Shout out to Didario. Hook your boy up with some flats. I need to get that Players Club thing. I got it sitting on my desk over there. I don't know what it's about. I'll let you know. They need to get an app. I don't know if they have an app because I feel like I'd be a lot more inclined to join the string company thing or whatever. If it was just I could just do it all on this app and I didn't have to go to this website, etc., blah, blah, blah. But yeah, strings. My least favorite activity. It's like when you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guitars, and you got to change strings on them. That's a lot of strings to change, dude. Each one's got 6. It's a lot of strings. But yeah. So I got these multi-effects pedals pretty recently. I just got this one. This is a vocal pedal, which I probably should have plugged in for this. It probably would have been fun. But I haven't messed with it yet, and I don't want to embarrass myself or just create like infinite feedback or something. I played with it one time at the store, and it was pretty cool. But it says it was made in 1998. DoD. It's like a vocal pedal, and it's pretty cool because it has like 10 knobs on here, or 10 buttons, I guess, 10 different effects, and you can turn them on and off, which is pretty helpful. Because like on this one, you can only really change 2 of them, and then you have to go in and do the stuff. But this one kind of has a more usable, more vintage interface, I suppose. But yeah, I appreciate that. And you can bypass the effects, like, and save presets of each one of these are different sounds. You can have like reverb and chorus and delay, or a combo of all 10 in each one, which is pretty cool. So there's a lot of combos that you could have. And then if you press the button, it like kills the, like just this sound, bypasses the effects. So for me, I was thinking like, oh, that'd be cool to do like, kind of like a wet thing and then go to a dry, or vice versa, start the verse out kind of more intimate with the acoustic guitar just singing, and then the chorus, you like click the big reverb and the delays on and stuff. I think that would be cool. And you could hear it. You normally just use this little PA for like everything, including this podcast and all my shows and whatever. And yeah, it's just like it has no reverb on there. And normally on my records and stuff, the vocals are pretty affected, and there's a lot of me singing. So having some delay and some kind of preamp and some compression and reverb and some EQ on here, it's like, this thing is pretty awesome. So I'm stoked to use that. And I was also thinking, it's got 1/4 inch, so I could put it through the everything, which would be tight. I think this might be a really good pedal. I'm really stoked on it. I used it once and I was really impressed. And for $50, man, I'll check it out. I don't think they make this anymore, because it says September 1999 on the back. But yeah, shout out vintage stuff. It says that there's some analog delays in here, which that's pretty cool. Shout out to Low. You guys are rad. Y'all are cool. Love y'all. It's a great pedal. I kind of just like, it's like delay and reverb and modulation. It's a bunch of things. It's kind of trippy. It's got a wet dry knob on here. I brought this back out. I had them up about trying to get it rehoused, or like I need to like follow up with that. It still works and it looks cool the way it is, but it's a little, that's right though. A user, not them. I'm just rough with my stuff. And yeah, it's a great pedal though. I thought this would sound really cool on the organ and with the keyboard. So now that I kind of have this like rotating multi-effect spot through the effects out, or effects loop, or whatever you want to say, on the mixer, I can kind of like change out different effects, and I think that'll be really cool. At this point, I probably just need to get another pedal board, but yeah, kind of similar concept. Is like I have this one, which is normally my Rode guy, and now I have like a couple of ones at home, which are cool, and there's another Digitech over there, which you can't see. And yeah, I just thought it would be cool to kind of like get some different sounds, get some different effects, some different styles of music or whatever kind of going, because there's definitely some, this is maybe more trippy, and this is kind of more of a vocal thing, and I've pretty much used every sound there is inside of this thing. So I have 2 new multi-effects, one for the bass and one for the guitar, and there's so many more sounds in there, which is pretty exciting. So I don't know, I got the Digitech for $24 and this little bass pedal for I think like $14, 1-4. So I was gonna make a video about that, like kind of a concept is like, can you make an EP with only this pedal? I think that'd be cool, because I think a lot of people I say this with a lot of stuff around me, but I get caught up in like the kind of gear escapade. But yeah, I wanted to make that point. I thought it would be important to make that point inside of my live streams and my my lessons and everything like that, really, because I see a lot of these cats out here playing like $3,000 guitars. This guitar, $30 is, it works just fine. Especially when you get the cool tremolo with the $40 amp, though. And this is a $100 pedal. This is really not like the world's fanciest pedal. it sounds okay. It works for what I'm doing. I think that's a thing that people should keep in mind. Is like, hey, if it works for you, that's cool. I'm not saying this is the best guitar or anything, but you gotta work with what you got, And if you got money to spend like $3,000 on a guitar and $1,500 on an amp, you better be practicing that much time. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff to have. Anyways, for me, I can justify this is my job. I play music 15 hours a day. I make records. I play shows. I teach lessons. All the above. Anything and everything. Your boy's doing it. So I don't know. It's a very interesting thing that I see these days as these kids kind of getting wrapped up in the gas and the gear acquisition syndrome. And I think that can be a little discouraging. Everyone's like, oh, I don't have this microphone, or I need this guitar, or I need this crazy thing, or I don't have this, instrument, or whatever. They're like, dude, I made 300 beats on a $100 laptop, and that paid for so many things, it got me so many gigs. And I just had a guitar, 2-channel interface, and the 8-track Ableton, and then I was like, that's it, dude. Good luck. And hey, that's look at me now. So yeah, I don't know, just food for thought. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're still watching at this point. Yeah, just the point of that was kind of my concept, was I wanted to maybe make an album with a $14 pedal. Because I feel like a lot of people get caught up in, oh, it costs this much money, and I need the $1,800 quad cortex, and I need this software, and blah, blah. And hey, I'm guilty too, I feel that. Especially a Black Friday coming around, or already here, like Cyber Monday, hello. It's a lot to ask. You're like, man, I gotta freaking spend money? But there's some good deals out there. Shout out to Neural DSP. I was thinking about getting that. They got all their stuff 50% off, which is a good deal. I was looking at that Baby Audio, that smooth Baby Audio. What else was I looking at? Oh yeah, I was talking about that Life plugin by XLN. I would like to get that. That seems really cool. And I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff, and it's and then you look at your checkout and you're like, fuck, I just spent $300. I made no songs. I don't know. So I don't really know if it's about the money. All right, I'm just gonna put that out there, because I'm gonna whip out my notebook at this point, because there's some points in here that I'm kind of dodging around. But let's go to the top. Let's just talk about it. The first thing I wrote down was gatekeeping within music. I think that we could just transition there. That could be a gatekeeping thing, where people think that they need money, and they need marketing, and they need all these other things to have a career. But it's that's somewhat true. And there are a lot of people who keep you down and don't help you, and don't respond to you, and just want your money. So there is a lot of gatekeeping in music, and I think that we need to stop that. We need to have an open mind, because it's hard out there for musicians. And I think that one of those things that we could lead to is I see a lot of people really hating on independent creators or record labels, or independent artists, or just entrepreneurs in general. It's just get a real job, you hippie. It's dude, there's a lot more jobs out there than working at McDonald's, or doing direct TV until you break your back and you gotta have neck surgery and you're sweating your ass off. That's kind of a dig. If you know, you know. But it's hey, you gotta be promoting yourself out there. How do you think this works? But we're trying to get plays, dude. You know what I mean? Because it's really sad. The plays equate to views, which equate to money. So it's and if you don't promote yourself, then no one really hears about you. You know what I mean? I heard this incredible band today. I really should look it up. I want to say it's called Groove, but I don't think that's what it's called. I'll have to look it up. I'll put it in the chat if I remember to do that. But anyways, it doesn't really matter because they only had 9 subscribers, and it was like incredible music. It was very heartbreaking, and I think that's just because they're not promoting their stuff, and because it was incredible music. It was like, holy shit, this is a great video, cameras and a great song, and they're jamming and there are solos, and they had a vamp with the drum solo at the end. It was like, this is a great song. So yeah, I don't know, dude. Just like, gotta promote yourself, So don't be vibey, like, don't be rude. Just like every scene has a different vibe, I guess. Like you couldn't really expect country to be like jazz music or something, but hey, you can be nice to everybody. I think that's a vibe that we could all appreciate, and we should find like a middle ground where we're supporting each other and building each other up, because we're all musicians. We're all homies. We're all in a community. I think that there's a lot of like people just shitting on people trying to build their brand and trying to promote and be an entrepreneur, and they're not appreciating the grind or how much time and energy it takes to do these things. Let's see, I'm just trying to see. Some kid today called me a scam, that my business was a scam, and it's like, bro, like I've been playing 200 shows a year for like 10 years, more than that, 12 probably, almost 13, going on 13, and you count out loud. That's crazy. So anyways, going on 13 years of playing shows, and I'm on year 5 of owning a record label. I'm on like album 120. I'm getting like 500,000 streams a year, and it's like that's quite a few streams. I think that's far beyond whatever I thought. I don't think, that's like some stuff when you're a little kid. It's like, did you ever think that you'd be getting 1 million plays, dude? 1 million plays? That's a lot of plays, bro. That's a lot of plays. So think about that, because I think that, that's some like little kid stuff. It's like, do you think your little self would have thought that you would be getting, 30,000 plays per album on YouTube alone? I don't know. That's pretty interesting. So I'm kind of thinking about that. I don't know. Just like, bro, what are you talking about? Scam. Like, I've been out here longer than you've been alive, probably. And people still thinking it's a scam. And I just don't get the hate between the producers and the jazz community and all this kind of stuff. It feels very toxic and very just like, ugh. You know what I mean? I don't know, I'm getting kind of over it. I see it a lot, and I can't say that I wasn't a part of it for a while, but it's just like, man, that stuff is getting old. It's like, I'm getting too old for that, maybe. Maybe, it's not going to get old, because it's probably going to be there forever, but I'm feeling too old to partake in that kind of stuff. And, I don't know. I think that, things that people are hating on is this AI art thing, where I think that people, don't take into account, like, if I really, I do have 122 albums for just one project, and I have like 10 freaking bands that I'm in, and 40 artists I'm collaborating with, a month sometimes. And anyways, it's just like, do you think I have money to put an album art for each one of these records? Like, that's just like so much time and energy. And even if I bought the materials to make the art myself, or because I'm not much of a graphic designer, I don't really know too much about that stuff. I try my best, but not amazing. And it's just very interesting. It's like that, the last time I did that, it was like $500, and shout out, great art, great work. I love that thing. I should hang it on my wall forever, frame it and stuff. But anyways, so I have this like, art that I made, and I've been doing this experiment where people are like, in the comments, they're just taking a dump on the AI art, right? And it's like, dude, you could chill out, really, because I'm not going to spend $500 on each one of these album arts. That's kind of crazy. That seems ridiculous to me, and it's not feasible. Same with the studio space. It's like, have you ever tried to rent a studio, a commercial studio? Have you ever had your own business where you actually had to like rent out commercial real estate? That shit's expensive, dude. And it's like, you gotta pay that every month. That shit hurts. You're like, ooh. Even it's just $400, you're like, damn, that's a lot of money. And to be making $400 off music really like is kind of hard, especially if you're only doing streaming. Especially with the streaming, I was trying to write out some of these things, because Yeah, there's only so many ways you can really make it, and YouTube's pretty good. I think I'm appreciating YouTube more and more because they're giving me about $23 per every 1,000 view, which is pretty good. And but I'm doing the math on Spotify, and I just don't even know how, like, they're not even in the same ballpark. Okay, I don't even get that. I'm confused. Okay, but it's very interesting. Okay, it's just like Spotify pays $1 and maybe 60 cents for every 1,000 views. So it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, in my opinion. And you could get more or less depending on your BS. Because also the caveat with Spotify is that you have to get 1,000 views with every song to even get paid annually. So it's just like, that's insane. Especially when you have a lot of records. It's like you need a lot of plays and a lot of listeners and a lot of followers to accumulate 1,000 listens per song when you have like that many records. Probably like 1,000, your monthly listener rate would have to be in the thousands for sure to even begin to tackle that, to where every single one of your songs actually made money. And that's when they would even start making money, and only $1.06 per song. And there's just, other things like I was thinking about, and then let's, open up gigs. If you start gigging, you'd be lucky to gig like 3 to 5 times a week. And that's a lot, honestly. Like if you're gigging every day, and I've been there, I've gigged every day, 3 times a day. It's exhausting. It is hard work. It is travel. Like you're in the car all day. You're flying on an airplane all day. It's exhausting. That's the real work, in my opinion. It's not fun. It's really like it's an art and a skill to be able to be chill in the car and just like travel all day long. Because that's the work, in my opinion. And I don't think that people get that. And you'd be real lucky to live in a city like Nashville or something to where you could drive 15 minutes, but that doesn't happen to me. And your rent's gonna be crazy there. So think about that. It's like I'm down to drive an hour or 2, 3, 4 sometimes to, make 3, 4 times what I would somewhere else, and or just like then down the road maybe. So that's kind of the thing. But in the reality, it's like hit or miss, because it's like in that particular case, I got a direct deposit straight to my bank account, no BS, super great, love that business, shout out. And but I only got $5 in tips, and I drove 4 hours to get there. So it's like, the gigs are fun, but it's like there is like a realistic cap between the time and the money and spent and etc. It's like you can only kind of make so much per day, I guess, and you can only play so many shows per week, realistically, because not many people are doing like really good paying shows on Monday or Tuesday. And you'd be lucky to get a Wednesday, and then maybe have an every week gig, but probably Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if you're lucky. That's like what you're gonna get. So you gotta like really be hustling this stuff, dude. And I don't understand kind of the hate behind the promoting yourself, because it's like, dude, if you want these views and you want people to be hearing you, like, you have to be promoting your music, because that's how you're getting the plays. And if no one, hears you, like, there's like 100,000 songs uploaded per day or something like that, I bet. Like, a crazy astronomical number of just, like, how many songs really were uploaded per day. And, I don't know. I don't think that's, like, you're just not going to get hurt. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a very low possibility. But if you have a following and you're promoting your work, you might actually get plays. And people are actually going to hear you. But there's, like, this, like, I don't know, kind of like gross taste in people's mouth when they see somebody like promoting something like, oh, I made this, I'm proud of this. They're like, next. It's pretty weird. So, support your boy. Like, hit the like button, subscribe. Hit me up for a lesson. If you want some mixing and mastering or overdubs, or if you want me to play your show or your gig or whatever, let's do it. I'm totally down. But I just want it to be worth my time. Because I think there's a lot of people out here asking for people to work for free. I see that all day long. And it's just like, man, like, this is my job, right? Do you get that? I think some people need to hear that, because, like, music can be your job, too. If you let it, but you also have to, like, know how to make money. yeah, some new stuff I'm working on, and I'm gonna wrap it up here, because that's kind of what this day is about, is trying to start this stuff right here. Or yeah, because I was saying somebody told me that I sound like everybody else, so I've been trying to get some new sounds, kind of update the arsenal a little bit, get some new tools, some new toys, and so, yeah, just kind of like flop that kind of like literal like material pedal board sound, get some new sounds going. And then I also want to try to make some blues music. I think I've talked about that before. Blah, 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 blah. I think I've talked about that before. And, some real trio music, some real grimy B.B. King, some Elmore James, some Muddy Waters, that real blues stuff, that real blues stuff I grew up listening to, and that I still listen to, that I love, that vinyl record sound, and just get nasty with some amps and some slide guitar and some distortion, and just really be singing the blues, I would love that. I think that'd be so cool. I could do a whole, I could do 20 records like that, really. I'd do a whole record like that, but this is like, that could be a whole band. We just playing the blues, baby. I love that shit. And I want to do some vocal stuff. I've been saying that, like some Bobby McFerrin music. I haven't just sat down and wavoed up, cajones up. And, it's kind of hard just to, like, be out there getting down, listening to the music, just vocals. It's like weird just to hear yourself sing, and then you gotta get more comfortable with that. But we gotta get the lady on the cello with the yo-yo sound. And, as I'm holding the guitar, I was thinking, like, I want to do some no guitar music. I say that just taking a deep breath. I can barely even say it. It's like, ugh. But, yeah, I've been working on my piano playing for like 30 years, 25 years or something. So it's like, I'm not terrible at piano. And I've actually played like solo gigs on piano. And, at this point, it's like, yeah, I should just go for it. Because I think, when I'm talking about things that sound like everyone else, I guess I'm thinking like, maybe that's just like the instruments. Like, it's just like, all right, everybody's got this drum set. Everybody's got like a singer. Everybody's got this guitar, whatever. It's like, how many people, guitar's kind of overrated, really. It's like, there should be like a cool solo or something. I even had like a venue recently tell me that, like, oh, sorry, we booked all the guitar acts for this year. I'm like, the fuck does that mean? Like, come on, dude. I play the piano, I play the drum set, I play the bass. Like, I do a lot more than play the guitar. But I think, it's just like the guitar, I don't know, they just hear the guitar and they're like, this just sounds like the guitar, and I get that. I have experimented with that. The guitar kind of just sounds like the guitar. It's very rare to hear a guitar that doesn't sound like the guitar, and I think that could be appealing. So, hence the pedals and the sounds. But anyways, no guitar music, I think would be very cool. I've been listening, or I guess I've not been listening, but I've been watching a lot of these Apple TV shows lately, just kind of having them on, and man, the music in those things are crazy. If you've never seen that show Severed or Silo, or there's another one we were watching before, oh my god, it's like, the music is so cool. It's very, very unique sounding, and I really appreciate that sound. I don't know, it's kind of like these like droney, kind of piano-y, beautiful soundscapey chord progression, stacked fifth, chordal, quintal, harmony moves. I really appreciate that. I think it's cool. Like, I don't know, because I think too, like, when I'm thinking about this stuff, I'm more thinking about it in the sense of like, these, sorry, these, I'm just trying to think of the words. Like, trying to write music for movies is pretty hard. Like, it's a different kind of medium. Like, I don't know if I would just sit around and listen to like film music per se, but you could have like songs that you write that maybe have like that flavor of film music, because I think that some of these like songs are written to be for like 20-minute love themes or something like that. So like there's kind of like maybe more or less like song form or structure or whatever. Maybe I'm just assuming, but I can't imagine myself like really just sitting down and listening to like Hans Zimmer or something like that. But I think having like kind of that vibe in maybe one of your songs could be a cool thing. And then two, I've been wanting to make some more trio music, because that's been a thing that I'm trying to book, like with my band, is my trio. So, and it is kind of hard to like adapt all of these like sounds into like a three piece, you know? It's like if I have like, 22 tracks on the record or on the song or something, it's like there's, sometimes 60 tracks on some of my shit if I use a bunch of microphones and stuff. But there's probably 10, 15 instruments or whatever. And it's hard to like play those songs and sing this stuff when there's 8 of me singing, with doubles and harmonies and, backup vocals and all this other stuff. It's like, it would be cool to kind of like write more of an intentional stripped down trio with the vocals. And I was thinking about trying to switch up the act of the trio, if that makes any sense, where like I would want to do one like, piano, drums, and bass. Organ as the bass player, guitar, and drums. Like just kind of switch the thing every time. And I think that would be exciting for me. And I think in a way that I would play, it would be different because I would be like, because normally I try to leave space. It's like, I don't want it just to be like a chaotic mess at the end, It's like only a little bit of pepper, just a hair, I don't know, hot sauce or whatever, you know what I mean? You're just like adding these little spices. But if there's only 4 spices, if you only got 3 or 4 ingredients, it's like you're gonna play or like cook like way differently. It's like we only got chicken and we got rice. What else we got? You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna be making different moves, and I think that's an interesting thought. So yeah, I want to write some music like that. I've been wanting to go back to my roots, and I guess I've been experimenting with this recently, but it could be a little bit crazier where, having these time signatures and, like polyrhythms and weird time signatures and like metric modulations and just like crazy, ridiculous music, honestly. And I think in that category it could also be 12 tone in noise and ambient music, but to me they're different. I need to finish up some records. I need to put out put one more song out for the Sapphires album, and it's already done, and I just need to put it out. And then after that, that record will be out, which will be cool. And then if I go to like this Brother Brandon project, I think I could like, I don't know how many songs are on there, honestly. I think it's 4. It's not quite done. It's like 4 or 5. It's like I need a couple of more for that one, and that's kind of like just me. And I'm stoked about that. So I think that'll be cool. And I was thinking about trying to get together a new big band kind of project. I haven't really given too much thought of that other than writing on the paper, because there's already 2 albums. But writing some more like arranged kind of music I think would be cool. And maybe doing it like more virtually this time, because I think I kind of prefer that at this point. It's definitely cheaper. I don't have to pay for the studio time. And I could get a couple of cats to probably do a lot of the parts if I hired the right people. And yeah, I think, having like a maybe more put together record would be cool with the big band. We already talked about the 12 tone and the noise and the ambient music, but I think that would be a nice touch. And I was kind of relating that to the film stuff, because you kind of hear that in a way in there. But I guess like a mixture between like avant-garde and maybe like some like movie music. And then this like could be honestly like its own episode, but we're just gonna talk about it for a minute. And because this is ridiculous how hard it is and how easy these cats like try to make it seem, because it's not. Okay, so like I've been trying to make Game Boy music, like video game chiptune is the term, kind of stuff. And dude, that stuff is really hard to find. Like, I've asked all these servers and all these forums and whatever, and it's like, I'm asking like, what's the hardware synths I could get that make me sound like a Game Boy? Because I'd imagine that you could get some 80s-esque Yamaha keyboard and just get it to play whatever sound, and it would kind of sound like a Game Boy or something, right? You know what I'm saying? You get the right Casio keyboard, and it could sound Game Boy-ish. You know what I mean? So if you know any hardware synths that maybe sound like Game Boys or, Super Nintendos or Sega or whatever, like let me know, because I'm interested in that. And so I'm thinking, oh well, somebody's got to have made a plugin. And dude, you look at all these freaking plugins, and shout out to Not Mac, Apple. You guys are messing up. I love your TV shows, but whatever you're doing with your computer programming, It's like all these chiptune whatever video game synths are like more for Windows computers. So it's like, am I gonna have to get it freaking? I mean, I have a Windows computer, I guess. I have a couple of them. But am I gonna have to switch computers just to make this kind of music? Like that seems ridiculous, in my opinion. I don't want to do that at all, personally. I would rather find a solution just to be able to make Game Boy music on my computer that I'm using right now, my Mac. But it seems very difficult. So, there's some, but you like have to buy them and blah, 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 and they're expensive. And, I found one or two good ones. Shout out to the Button Masher, Deck Hit School. He got a Grammy for some of his stuff. I like him. I would like to collab with this kid. He's got really cool music. And, he's got a thing with his trio where he's playing keyboard. And then there's a guitar player, I guess with some sort of MIDI guitar or something. And then, yeah, it's like really cool. It's like, he's got like the guitar's playing the lead, the keyboard's playing the chords with like the Game Boy sound. And then somehow, I don't understand how they got like the drums to sound like that. Like, it's like super lo-fi. And he's playing like a MIDI kit, so it's like he's got the samples on the pads and stuff. But dude, I just love that. It's so cool. I don't know, that's the nerd in me, I guess, from way back in the day. But I think that would be fun to like maybe try and make some more retro sounding music and having it be like this kind of like weird kind of, I don't know, retro video game sound. I don't know if anyone's into that but me, but there was that Andrew Wong and Rob Scallon video where they were making the album the day the 1st of October, what was on the 1st this year. And they had like some Game Boy sounds in there. And I thought that was cool. I don't know, it was a nice lead. It'd be cool to try to make some sounds like that. I don't know, that was just kind of my thought as of recently. But it's hard to come across this, like the actual materials that you would need to make the sounds, in my opinion. Humbly speaking, maybe I'm misspeaking, and I just don't know, and I just need to do more homework. But I've been doing like days of homework, and that's a lot of days of homework to like be making no video game music. That's just my opinion, I guess. But they don't make it as easy as you think it's. So shout out to those kids that are making the chiptune music. I'm very impressed with that stuff, with the sound design and just the work ethic behind that stuff, because it's like you gotta be doing some extra stuff, dude. But yeah, I want to make some world music and some no drum set kind of style stuff where it's like maybe percussion-y kind of stuff. I was listening to that Michael Lee record, his solo stuff last night, just for fun, just chilling up my page out here, and yeah, just listen to Michael Lee again. His music's so cool. It's like, but the one thing I noticed was all the common tones, step one, and then two, like, well, I want to ask him next time I get to talk to him is, how much Tool did you listen to, bro? He seems very like Tool inspired. Maybe I'm like mishearing that, and maybe that's my way in. But it sounds like kind of Tool-y yet sometimes, in a good way. Maynard, all over that stuff. And anyways, yeah, like a lot of his songs that kind of start out with like without a drum set kind of sound, and I thought that was cool. I appreciated that. I was thinking about like with this Tom, he had like this kind of like African sounding drum. I don't know, Morocco or something. Sorry, I don't know. And it sounded like he had like change in there or something. It's like it might take like a couple of pennies in there or something. That could be cool. I don't know. We already talked about making music with pedals. Yeah, anyways, I'm starting to do some lessons. And shout out to this podcast, because I feel like that's kind of what started me getting back into lessons. And I wanted to try to start like, teaching and maybe getting the word out and just talking about music again, because I can get a little shy about that, a little burned out, maybe a little both. And I thought I'd give you a little music lesson. And I should turn this into my lesson of the day. But really, it helps me to talk about it a couple of times. Normally, whenever you see the lesson, it's like I've shot it like maybe once or twice. And it just helps me kind of work out the bumps. So we'll turn down the tremolo or whatever. Yeah, that's what it's called in here. It's like, I need to look it up. It's like chorus versus vibrato versus tremolo. I think chorus is like a sense thing, and tremolo is like a volume thing, and vibrato is like a notey kind of thing. that like sense. Anyways, yeah, that was your, I guess, modulation lesson. Here's your guitar lesson. I mean, like, I just love the shape, and I thought that I should just talk about this. It's really underrated, and I use it all the time, and I see a lot of other people use it, and I feel like if you don't know this chord, you should know this chord. And maybe that's what we'll call the lesson. If you don't know this chord, you should. It's really powerful. It could be so many things, right? Like if you've never played the game of just changing the bass note of whatever this chord could be, it's a good one. But let's talk about it first. It goes C, D, and B. I'm playing G on the G 5th fret is C, B 3rd fret, and E 7th fret. 5, 3, 7. And I love that sound. I think it's so cool. It's very open. To me, it's like a major chord, like a C chord. C, D, B. It could also be C minor. I can't do it. Yeah, it could be. It could be minor. It could be major. I kind of like it more as major, personally. And yeah, I mean, I think that's cool. Like to have a shape that's universal for both major and minor. It's like when in doubt. I mean, I guess this would be harmonic minor. So keep that in mind. That's a little bit different, I suppose, but it's only 1 or 2 notes different between the harmonic and the melodic and the major scales. So think about that if you never thought about that. To me, where does this come from? I guess it's just the C major scale. And I'm just playing 1, 2, 7. And you could do it here. You could do it here. Okay. Can I do it here? You can I? There you go. And now 1, 2, 7. Yeah. So there's lots of places this chord can kind of fall. I think that's a good, thing to work out is like, find any chord that you like, it could be like whatever. I don't know. Pick a chord. Any chord. Random chord. 3, 2, 1, go. Pick your chord. And then try to figure out all the places that you could play it. Like, here's the Hendrix chord. Alright, like, you could play it here, technically. You could play it here. I've never done this before, actually. Yeah, see? Because I've never done it. And I've done stuff like that. It didn't take me too long to figure out. But, like, you could play your cross-sound traffic up here. And that's cool. That's like a great skill to have. It's just like find a shape and be able to put it in every single string, right? Find all the C's. And then like once you do that, you should be able to get all your things combined and figure that out. So I don't know, like learn the neck, dude, because that's important. Another thing that I would do with this is like if it comes from the C major scale and it comes from this shape right here, I think that in between that you could fill in with like an arpeggio or something, right? Like you could play like if you have 1, 2, like 1, 2, 1, 2, 7. You could do that, It could be 1, 2, 7 all over the place. You could do that for days. Sorry, I didn't mean to fart out over there, but it's cool. 1, 2, 7. I think that's a really pretty sound. And then another thing I was thinking of is like if you're doing this arpeggio, if you don't know, just play like 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 to 1. I like that, and I like that in the 6 up here too. That's kind of fun. But yeah, just all these kind of ways that you can milk maybe this chord shape into the arpeggio. It's pretty cool. Whether you want to play it like I just did with like 2 notes, you could skip it. You could do 3 notes, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You could do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You could do like any combo. You don't even really have to play like, like up the scale, I guess. You could just like even add notes if you wanted, like they're added F sharp. But like yeah, as long as you're kind of maybe staying within the cell of like the rhythmic grouping, you can play maybe an out note or two. It wouldn't be that weird because it's like, oh, you're following rhythm and you're kind of staying within the harmony, but maybe you're just like changing or augmenting a note or diminishing a note or something like their I flat in the fifth. But I thought that sounded kind of cool. Personally, I don't know, that's what I was hearing. Follow your ear, you know? You don't always have to like just follow the scale, I guess, or like the literal translation of whatever you're playing. Like I think maybe augmenting it to like be more fun to play for the guitar and like just a more like ergonomic way to play might make a little bit more sense. Because there's a lot of like things you could do in the guitar that would just like work straight hurt your hand, but it's like, you know, maybe a little bit more practical and literal music sense. Like playing a diminished triad is like the worst guitar shape of all time, but that's all right. That's why we play it like this, right? Check out my YouTube lesson on that. But yeah, you know, those are just some ways to kind of play this arpeggio shape and to mess around with the arpeggio. And you know, if you're taking this through the scale and you're running it through all the possible kind of like maybe variations and places that this could be through all the chord scales. So I'm doing C major right now. I think I'll give you guys C minor for homework, you know, where like if this is minor, right, you could just do flat 7, you could do major, you know, you have a E flat, guitarian flat 2 kind of sound. You know, it's like pick your scale, pick your thing, and find an idea that you like, and move it through all the scales, move it through all the rhythmic numbers, move it through 4s, move it through 5s, move it in triplets, move it, you know, skip a quarter note, start on the 2. It's like, man, that's it's good for you. It's good practice, and it's good to like, you know, play the music like music, I guess. You know, like you don't want to just like kind of robot these scales and have these exercises. You should be trying to look for colors and palettes and sounds and spices that you can use, you know, in your cooking and your playing. But yeah, I think, you know, this is plenty of time for the podcast, and it'll be quite the extended episode. But I had some stuff to get off my chest today. I haven't made a video in a while. Maybe that's why I should make videos more often, so they're not so long, and I don't have so much to talk about each time. But yeah, shout out if you made it this far. Put the sushi emoji in the chat, and you'll get a comment back for sure. But yeah, thank you, big love. You guys rock. Shout out. Peace out. Bye.